I'm going to read a short piece about the poet Sid Corman, who lived from 1924 to 2004, and the poet William Bronk, who lived from 1918 to 1999. And then I'm going to read two poems of my own. This is Mimesis. We are highly practical people with cell phones and laptops, and Sid Corman lived outside our common experience. There is no sensation, no sight or sound in his poems that one can assume the reader shares, except to the degree that Corman successfully conveys it. And what exactly does he try to convey in his poetry collection, Sun Rock Man? As the title indicates, his poetry is an attempt to describe an existence rooted in the interplay of elementary forces, not just taking place among them as in a Refke poem, but of them, totally at one spiritually, with the great distances and the rising and setting sun and the far cypresses, and all the other natural phenomena which are like expressions of a vision or a spiritual or emotional state. Corman is like the metaphysical poet William Bronk in some ways, notably his questioning of the meaning and relevance of pat distinctions. Bronk may be what T.S. Eliot meant by a dull head among windy spaces, but in this case the wind and emptiness pass straight through into his consciousness, which can offer nothing as a shield. All mental reflexes fall away except for a sense of inadequacy, for as Bronk paradoxically asks in one poem, what else but the mind senses the final uselessness of the mind? Even in our seeming closeness, we are isolated. There is no here. Bronk may have been somebody respectable had he been able to forestall his creeping nausea. Suppose he had been a guitar player who discussed with you all the technical details of his vocation, in a tone suggesting importance and relevance. Here's something you can learn about and discuss and master. Mastering it, there is a fact you can lean on. But then there will come a sense, a mounting feeling of despair. Put down your guitar and look out at the empty spaces and hear the wind. All activity is imitation, deception, artifice, contrivance, a papering over of unfathomable voids. This poem is called Traveler. The train that streams through forest to an inn on a corner where all seasons raise their voices, leaves you alone, a novice, unversed in flight, meeting echoes of reason in polite circles of a poisoned bough. You whom vile strangers would accost, who would hold the shining moment aloft, stay the time-worm's hunger in the soul's red sand. Move not with ostentation, for here beckons the gate. The second poem is called Marseille. Dirty buildings slanting in the yellow air, streets choked with litter, men sitting in the slum quarter, clutching a newspaper or a cigar, a solitary man making his way through the debris of an alley and pausing to pick up the gems, a discarded shoe or matchbook. Under the hot far horizon, the deepening urge for jihad. I had no idea where I was. Rather than try to square my mind with geography, I ignored the map and walked until I came to a promenade over the beach, sullen rocks on brown powder, where a German boy sat on a bench drinking beer. In halting English, he began to share tales of a tourist in an ancient town. It's cheap here. You can get a room for a few francs a night, in one of those dives with the shutters falling off. You can have fun at night, he said, but you must be careful. You are neither on one continent or the other. You are in that place where order fades into yellow dark mist of strip joints and clubs. And you have been here many times, have seen the slow erosion of forms in 1,000 rotting cities, the fading of shapes that defined your world in this epicenter to which all towns revert, the ghetto at the bloated world's core.